To be quite honest with y'all, I feel like nowadays a lot of YouTubers, filmmakers, content creators, they make a lot of videos based on gear reviews, tutorials, things along that nature. But not a lot of filmmaking YouTubers make vulnerable videos. And that's what this video is honestly gonna be. But today's video, I want to talk about what do you do when business goes slow as a freelancer? Because if you don't already know, or if you're new to filmmaking, being a freelancer, you're not guaranteed a consistent income every single week or even every single month. There's times where you will get zero source of income for a whole month if you make it that way. Now, I'm speaking just from freelance, and I'm not speaking about YouTube. I'm not speaking about anything else where you might make a little extra side money. This is strictly just freelancing. If you're just starting out, it can be quite difficult. It can be discouraging, it can be challenging, and you can have a lot of self-doubt. I feel like that's what anybody in the beginning stages of early freelancing. I know a lot of people nowadays have that fear of what if it doesn't work out, which is an understandable fear, but you also got to ask yourself, what if it does? If you have that mindset of what if it does, then ultimately you can achieve anything it is that you're trying to achieve. So again, the question that I'm asking you guys is, what do you guys do when business is slow? What do you guys do when you don't have clients? Me personally, my last client was about 2.5 weeks ago in Miami. That was my last paid client. I did gigs here and there on the side that were for free, but my last paid client was about 2.5 weeks ago. And for me personally, I like to utilize that time and to get more creative. During this process, during this free time that I had as being a freelancer, I've been using this time to think of new YouTube video ideas, to script out short film ideas. And that's how I like to utilize my time, because I feel like if you sit here and dwell on, man, like, how come I don't have clients? How come I'm not getting paid? Does nobody want me? If you have that mindset and you keep dwelling on it, it can really cause a really bad mental illness that you can cause upon yourself. And I feel like as a freelancer, we're always thinking about that. We're always thinking, what's the next project? You know, what's the next creative gear that we can get? What's the next set of lights that we can get? And I feel like if we dig deep and dial into watching these YouTube videos where all these creators are talking about that, in the long run, mentally, it can affect you big time. So I feel like it's good to utilize your downtime, especially if you're a camera operator, if you love editing, to go out there and create a short film. Get your mind off of what it is that you don't have. You should manage what you already have and stop trying to manage something that you don't yet have, or something that's just, you know, realistically it's not in your possession yet, but it will be. Being a freelancer can be hard, it can be difficult, but it can also be easy. It can also be fun, it can also be spontaneous. It depends on how you make it. It depends on what you do in that time that you're given. So the biggest issue that I'm having right now is finding these new clients, and not only finding them, but keeping them as retainer clients, keeping them for the long term. If you guys are watching my video for the first time and you don't know who I am, I primarily got my start in the music industry. I was a music videographer, and I did a lot of music videos in my career. That's how I'm able to afford the FX6. That's how I'm able to ultimately do what I do now. But it wasn't for a few months ago where I decided that this just isn't what I want to do anymore. I honestly lost the passion for doing music videos. I didn't really enjoy doing music videos anymore. It got to the point where I was just dreading having to do any single music video that came my way. Yes, it was consistent. I was doing 2 or 3 shoots a week consistently for months. I felt like doing music videos just didn't give me that creative freedom that I really desired to have. Because, you know, nowadays music videos is just full of transitions, it's full of cool effects, it's full of cool, just all this other stuff that doesn't really convey a proper story how I want to convey it. Now, don't get me wrong, I will still accept music videos only that have a story behind it, that have a meaning behind it, that have a script behind it, that have a role behind it. And if you don't already know, I'm trying to get into corporate work, event work, interviews, documentaries, anything along that line. And music video is completely different. That's a whole different atmosphere than what I'm trying to do now. So I have the understanding and I have the knowledge. I'm not fresh into this. But again, it is a completely different niche. The way film productions are laid out, the way everything is organized and planned, and everyone has a specific role, is a lot different than doing your typical music video. But that's what I love about it. That's what's drawing me closer and closer to it. It's not easy at the end of the day. I'm still learning, I'm still developing, I'm still growing, I'm still getting my name out there in the corporate industry, in the event industry, and it's working. So honestly, speaking of all of this that we spoke about, I actually just got a client that emailed me 2 days ago. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and finally I'm probably gonna get my hands onto some corporate event style work. Now, this particular project the client hit me up about, it's more of like a college funding project. So basically, it's something that I've been doing for years, something that I know how to do. It's just B-roll with interviewing. But I'm making this video to inspire you, maybe to touch you deeper, to let you know that it's okay if you're not getting client shoots right now. It's okay if your calendar is completely empty. You never know when that one client is going to come out of nowhere to hit you up wanting to do a project. Keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy the journey that you're going on right now. It's going to be hard, but at the end of the day, if you keep being consistent and you keep doing this situation that you're in right now is not going to last forever. There's going to become a time where you are completely flooded with projects. You're going to have so many projects, you're just going to start handing them off to your buddies and friends. It's times like that that I think about that keep me motivated to keep on doing this, to keep on pursuing. And that's why I honestly was even willing to take the risk of buying the FX6, a $6,000 camera. I could have just kept my A7S III. That was perfectly fine for my music videos, but I knew ultimately I wanted to get into the corporate work, the event work, documentaries, and interviews, and I knew that the FX6 would be a perfect camera for that, so I was willing to take that massive step in purchasing this camera and leaving everything else in the past. The real question that you should ultimately ask yourself, are you willing to take that step? Are you willing to step out your comfort zone? Are you willing to put everything it is on the line to pursue what it is that you want to do? And my SD card ran out of storage, so I couldn't film the outro. I'll catch you in the next one. Abiyantu, buongiorno.